name is Uriel, and I've made a series of tutorial vids for you in which I want to explain SMW flight and everything that's to it. I'm gonna start it slow with takeoff and basic flying. We go into turnaround, sticky flight, before we go to more difficult stuff like precision fly, specific tag, item tag, and even Yoshi flight. I hope you have fun watching this. The next thing I want to talk about with you is, after listening to all of that and still being here with me, you probably might ask yourself, okay, I heard all of this stuff now, and what do I do now? How do I actually start? And I personally would recommend starting with Le Plume or Inert Aeronaut, but definitely one of those two. Those two are very good and well-made cape-only hacks that are on the easier side compared to other cape hacks. They are not easy, they are not free, but they are good and fun. And if you're ever unsure about some questions, you should just look it up in the tutorial bit again, and that is the next thing I want to recommend you boot up Learning to Fly. In there is a lot of stuff where you can practice single setups for something that maybe help you understand them better, because practicing something is a lot different than just watching it and looking up to it. And I'm gonna go a very, very controversial take here. I think 100 Rooms of Kuso is a very good hack for practicing vanilla cape. It gets very, very hard in the end, and with very hard, I mean very, very hard. Like, you have to know basically everything about flight except Yoshi flight if you want to clear it in a reasonable time, and that's what I did with it, you take it as a learning point. Like, the difficulty gradually increases from, I want to say in steps of 10 in this hack, and there is more and more tech of you required that you have to do. And it is a very good point to learn something, to play a room or maybe two sometimes, and then save them and come back later when you have a little bit more practice, or do it the other way around. Take this one as a practice point, and once you clear the room, save the progress and come again when you feel like you want to learn some more. It is definitely a very good room for that one, but I'd recommend you don't start with 100 Rooms of Kuso. Le Plume or Inert Aeronaut would be my definitely practice hacks for you. And apart from that, hacks that I personally had a lot of fun playing are definitely Albatross. It's my favorite cape hack, but it's really, really, really hard. The difficulty is, I don't want to say it's the hardest hack out there, because Atelier Umar, Gemstones, or even something like Mod Cape are objectively harder. And speaking of Mod Cape, but I think Albatross is definitely very close up to there in the difficulty, especially the last couple levels, the special world, because of the length of the levels. Some levels up there are incredibly long, incredibly hard, and incredibly precise. Mod Cape, on the other hand, is something that I loved playing through it. It took me a couple of hours. I think I needed something like 16 hours to clear it, while I already played through Albatross and know how to do this stuff. It is a very technical one. It teaches you to understand a lot of stuff that you maybe had a feel for or about already earlier, but you definitely were not using it as precise as you could. Like speed recognition, for example. If you play through Mod Cape, you know your speed at all the time. It's just a matter of fact. You learn parity swapping on Yoshi. You learn consistency with Tong Yoshi and Tongless Yoshi. You learn to zero drop on command and go back to 1 speed. You do tight climbing It's a very good hack, but it's very difficult. Let's Give Up. It's probably a hack that also, it was not one of my favorite hacks because it's very input heavy and quick. It's definitely a very good cape hack. It's much more fast paced and very. You're not 100% free in the decisions you have to make. Actually, most of the time it's very hard to break out of the stuff that the level wants you to do. But it's okay. It plays more than a Kaizo thing than a cape hack, but it's still a cape hack and you still have to know how to do cape stuff. And I think those are some very good things you can do. Obviously there's all the Poggio hacks, but I personally didn't play Volpe's Friend or Senpai at the moment. So I can only say that they are probably good, but I wouldn't recommend them as starter things. For me personally, I like 100 Rooms of Kuso a lot, and I think it's very, very underappreciated for what it is. Take it as a very creative practice hack for something, and if you're not in the mood for practicing, Plume and Inert Aeronaut are definitely the things that you want to have a go. And from that words on, you have some stuff that you can take a look at and get a feel if you're comfortable about. Don't try this one, by the way. But I can only recommend that you watch Flip's explanation video for it. It's just insanely good. The stuff you have to do in there is even difficult if you do a tool assisted clear of it, and it's just from a technical standpoint, from a technical point of view, very, very good. It's very interesting. I can only recommend. And speaking of Flips, Flips has an Yoshi Flight explanation video that covers different stuff and probably the stuff with Yoshi Flight a lot better than I do it. I can only recommend giving this one a go, especially if you're still new to Yoshi Flight. It does explain stuff very well and very good. And if after all of that you think, hey, Cape looks really, really cool, but now I want to know, how does it work behind the scenes? TJB has, in most of his videos, has the so-called Cape doc linked in this description. I can only recommend you giving yourself the time and read through this. Like, there's an explanation to the flight phases, what gravity, what speed, what conditions. It's really, really good. And if you want to understand Cape more, that is one of the best things you can do. Hope you liked the video. I hope you give the other videos a go, and if you learned something, I'm very happy about it. Anyway, see you soon and bye bye!